Coach Beasley,
Hey, how you doing, Lamont?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for
I
having
am,
me on.
no, I'm so glad to have you. Hey, you are home. This is y'all got to know this is my hometown girl right here. She's, she try to act like she's shy. Coach is not shy. She is not shy. We not buying that tonight. We not, I've seen you coaching. You're not shy.
Only on the court. Only on the court.
Only on court you let it go, huh?
Yeah, right,
All
right.
right. Well, you know what? I'm tickled to death to have you here because everyone, talks D1, they talk this and that, but they need to understand and hear from a coach at the JUCO level and understand not only that they may need it because of academics or whatever, but it's not as easy as some of them think. So so they come with a reality check. Before we get started, why don't you tell them exactly who you are?
Yeah, so first again, I want to thank you for having me on. My name is Alison Beasley. I am the head women's basketball coach at Wake Tech Community College. We are NJCAA Region 10, Division 2. I'm originally from Durham, North Carolina, born and raised. City made me, they bred me. So, I
Uh,
love my city, and that's something, I always take with me everywhere I go.
Yeah, the Bull City.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you. I know you got. Hey, look, if y'all ain't from the Triangle, right? There's one spot in the Triangle. You can't get over on those folks from Bull City. You can't bully them. Bull City don't
Right.
play. And if you're from the Triangle, you know Bull City don't play. Now you played over at Southern Durham, um, and actually went on to, uh, coach at where you played at.
Right.
So when you were in school, was being a coach the ultimate goal while you were in school?
Yeah, so I played three sports. I played volleyball, I played basketball, obviously, and then I played softball.
Oh,
And I
okay.
had the opportunity to play for the same coach in all sports. Coach Nikki Bonham, she went on to coach at St. Aug and won a volleyball CIAA championship there. And I
Uh,
remember, my senior year one day just talking with her and just joking around saying, one day I'm gonna be a coach B too.
right,
And
right.
so ever since my senior year, I've kind of wanted to be a coach, and, as playing went along and then I got the opportunity to obviously play for Coach Street, it's just something more and more I got interested into.
Now you mentioned Coach Street, and I thought that was an interesting story. Like you play under him, and then he becomes the AD and hires you.
Hmm.
What did that feel like for that full circle to happen? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, playing for him was bittersweet. After high school, I didn't know if I wanted to continue to play basketball at the next level. So I got that phone call from him in the summer of 2010, and we got rocking and rolling. My first year didn't go, it wasn't all peaches and cream, and
Right,
everything did go my way. He was a very disciplined coach. He instilled a lot of confidence and values in me, that I use even now to this day. And I played for him in 2010. I took a year off in 2011. Worst decision I ever made in my life as a basketball player. Taking that year off, it kind of fell me off a little bit. But
really.
I took that year off, and then 2012 I came back. It was kind of a year that I wanted to just finish. I wanted to just finish the year, and I knew then I wanted to coach. I didn't want to
Yeah,
play the game no more. I wanted to start teaching the game. So I kind of was, on the back burner. I didn't really play that much, but I kind of watched everything he did. And me and him had that conversation. And he kept telling me, get your degree, get your degree, get your degree. I was
right.
like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you. So 2014, he made me the assistant coach. And then 2018, I became the head coach after I got my bachelor's degree. That's for
Right.
sure. So he retired. And when he retired, he kind of gave it to me, but he taught me everything I know. Not everything, but mostly everything, especially at the collegiate level. He taught me the good, the bad, the ugly,
Yeah.
discipline wise. He instilled the same thing in me as a player as he did as a coach. So, you
Yeah.
know, being on time. He didn't play that when I was an assistant coach, just like he didn't play that when I was a player. And I
Right.
kind of
Right.
have those same values.
That's good
So
stuff.
he's been a big part of my career so far and getting it jump started.
Yeah, and you mentioned something interesting. You said about taking a year off was not a good decision. A lot of people, and I tell them all the time, once you stop, man, it's a rocky
Hard.
road getting back, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
what was that like? Why do you say it was a harder decision for you?
Well, just not being around the game for a whole year, not being around teammates and not being around that atmosphere, you lose out on a lot. So, it was really hard for me when I came back in 2012 to get my speed back up, to get
Yeah.
to be with the younger girls, as you could say, because, I was a little bit more mature because I had to go into the work world. But, as far as like hanging out with them and doing stuff with them, I just felt disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
So taking that
Mm-hmm.
year off was a big disconnect for me. So I had to learn how to do stuff a little bit different. And then obviously the shape factor played a big role. I lost a little bit of my game and my swagger and my first step. So it's harder for women. I think men can do that. I think women though they tend to have a little bit harder time with staying in shape and keeping the tempo up speed.
Right. No, I'm so glad you're talking about this because people really need to understand just how difficult it is to bounce back. And just I didn't even think about, the part of being disconnected by being the older girl.
Right.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
That really makes sense. And you also talked about with Coach Street being like somebody that instilled things in you. I tell people all the time, being a coach is way much more than just X's and O's. It's being a mentor,
Right.
and So do you instill those same type of things that Coach Street instilled into you?
Definitely, definitely. Being on time, being respectful,
Mm,
you know, being very strong academically. Those are things that he just wouldn't accept, anything less than 110%. If you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it 110%. If you're gonna do it halfway, don't do it at all. And
right.
that's something that he instilled in me, my freshman year, and it carried over to my sophomore year. And then as an assistant coach, he instilled it to me the same core values. So, it might not have been, making sure you make every time or sprint, but you better get them papers in time that I need you to
Yeah.
get in. You know what I'm saying? And you better be on time because now you're looking after not only yourself, but you're looking after 16, 17 other girls. And you got to be a big influence for them. So that's something that I try to instill now. It's not all about basketball. It's about teaching these young ladies how to become women.
Yeah.
They got to be independent, stand on their own 2 feet, 10 toes on the ground. So you got to throw them different things and different obstacles so they can learn how to react and do things the right way.
Yeah. No, good stuff. What's your favorite part of being a coach now?
Teaching. I love, teaching the mental part. I think, physical is probably one of the easiest things to teach, but mentally it's hard because every player is different. So you have to know how to teach each player. And mentally that's something I harp on. It's something that's very big to me. If you can come through the mental part of basketball, to me, you can go through life.
Yeah.
So that's probably the most fun part to me is the mental side and trying to get everybody to be cohesive and together.
Yeah. No, man, you are teaching what I talk to my staff about all the time. Like
Yeah.
literally, it's more mental. If you can change your mindset, it not only applies to basketball, but it applies to life, everything.
Right.
Everything, those core principles that you just talked about, being respectful, being on time, being professional, those type of things, they just cross over. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, I did read, because I always do my homework on my
Right.
guests, right? I did read where you said when you first got the job that academics and a family atmosphere were important to you. Why were those two things important to
Well, academics has always been hard at Wake Tech. Me being
you?
a former person a player that went to school there, academics isn't the easiest at Wake Tech. It's very, very strategic, very hard. It's up there with the universities. If you can go to Wake Tech, and I tell all my recruits this, if you can come to Wake Tech, you can go to any university.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've
So,
heard it.
I really feel as though, academically, if we can get our players to, average higher than, at least a 3.0 GPA, I set the bar high. JUCO, a lot of people say, oh, well, players go there, they got bad grades, bad attitudes. No, that's not the
Mm,
case. We don't accept that here, just like universities don't accept that.
that's right.
So, academics is very big for me. I get more joy in seeing my players walk across that stage and getting their degree than I do in, wins or losses. I can
Yeah.
win or lose any game, but that's the satisfying part about it. And then family, my mom and dad instilled that in me when I was young. You eat together, you pray together, you stay together. So I love to have that family oriented team, and I love to have that atmosphere where you can come talk to me about anything, and we're gonna have ups and downs, but as long as we stay together, we'll be good. We'll be good.
Yeah.
So that's something that at Wake Tech, with this, it's not an option. You're gonna do your academics, and we're gonna be a family. So
Right. Right. No, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Now, I often talk to players about what about life after basketball. Now, do you see, as much as I do, I see a lot of kids don't really consider that that thought of, what I'm gonna do when if I don't have basketball in my life. Because one day, at some point in time,
let's go
either
in.
sooner or later, that ball's gonna stop bouncing.
Right.
Do,
And
do
it
you see it as well?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think basketball prepares you a lot for life. A lot of the stuff that you do in basketball will prepare you for that. And the way I run my program, I won't. I've made it a personal goal to teach life lessons. Just so when you do go out and learn the real world, you're like, oh, well, I'm ready for this. But I've had players come through my program, their sophomore season gets here, and they got anxiety all of a sudden, and they're scared because they don't know what's next. And that's where we come in, and we try to calm them down and let them know, hey, everything's going to be okay. It's going to end for me one day too, just like it
That's
might
right.
end for you. It's not the end of the world.
That's right.
Basketball is not everything. You got to have a plan, whether it's, hey, be a basketball coach like I did, or be an AD, or be an author, or
Yeah.
there's a lot of different things you can do. It's going to end for all of us at some point, even the WNBA players and coaches and everything. It's going to end for everybody. So just being ready for that moment, having goals, oriented goals, and knowing that you're something without basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and they really need to understand that. Like,
Yeah.
and I just see it so often. Like I deal with a lot of mental health that and counseling and that I do through my life coach, and a lot of people don't know how to handle it. Whether it be by injury, they got older, whatever it is, they just don't know how to handle that part. But now one thing I saw in you is that you grind. Now since you've been there, you've been grinding. Like I'll be anywhere and see you in the building. You know what I mean? And I
Yes,
and I
sir.
love that. The fact that whenever we have an event, I know you or your staff or all your staff is going to show up. I mean, at the Super 60, y'all were working it, boy. Y'all were getting it done, and I
Deep.
and see that y'all were deep and y'all were getting it done, and I like that because you know that you want to be successful. You're trying to have something. You're really hitting the ground recruiting. I see a lot of coaches, they want to do it from the office, or they don't have that mentality of I'm outwork you, and
Right.
then they wonder why they fall short. So how does events like the Super 60 and other events like that, how do they help you or guide you into some of the kids you may want to have come to campus?
Yeah. I mean, it's very important to me to have that one-on-one interaction. I have to see you in a showcase, like be recruited, or what they have down here in Raleigh, the AAU tournament every year. I have to see it, and if I don't see you playing a game, I hate highlight film. I absolutely hate when people send me, or
Yeah.
players send me highlight film.
Right,
Because
right.
I'm more worried about the small things. How do you interact with your coaches? How do you interact with your teammates? How do you interact with your parents after the game?
Right.
Those are things that I look for, and I don't see that unless I'm there in person.
Mhm.
So recruiting is tough. Recruiting, is tough for JUCO, but I'd rather be there and engaged. And if I could turn a Division II player into a Division I player, or Division III player into a Division II player, then that's my job. And like I said, it's not all about physical; it's about mental too. So that's something, you know, that we at Wake Tech, we're trying to build the program to be. We don't just go after kids that's got bad grades and bad attitudes. That's the
Right, right.
stigma around JUCO,
That's
and
the
I
stigma,
really
yeah.
don't understand it.
Yeah.
That's just not what we go for. That's not something I'm going to stand for. So,
Right.
you know, if you have a bad attitude, you're probably not going to play. You're probably not going to play for me.
Yeah.
But you know, I want everybody to understand that JUCO is more than what people think it is. You know.
Yeah. So walk us through that recruiting. Like, how do you know what kids you're going to target and so forth? Because, like you said, most people think y'all just go after bad attitudes and bad grades,
Right.
but that's not the case. How do you look at a kid and say, she's good enough to play for me, but how do you know she's not going to choose a D3 or NAIA? How does that work for you?
Yeah. So just starting by having communication, having conversation with coaches and family members. You know, seeing what they think is best for their kid. And if I feel like, you know, the kid could be a Division II kid, but only Division IIIs are really looking at them, then I'm gonna have that conversation with them. You know, if you get in the gym and you change a couple things, or you fix this, or you correct this, and you know you make this better, then I can send you to that next level. And that's what I want to instill the most. It's like I said, it's more to the recruiting process than just going and talking and seeing the players. You know, you got to really get to know what they want, and getting to know, you know, what their family wants for them. Some players, JUCO, you know, they don't want to go the JUCO route because it's frowned upon so much. But if they would have went the JUCO route, you know, things could
Right,
have been a lot easier for them.
right,
You know, I
right.
know a lot of players that's, you know, I ain't gonna say settled for D3 because I think D3 is amazing also, but they've paid that $100,000 or $80,000 for 4 years to go there, and they could have came to a JUCO for 2 years and then still had that opportunity to play
Right,
D3 and maybe other opportunities.
right.
And to me, that's what's most important. You know, finding the best fit, finding out what players want, and then seeing if they fit with me. If they fit with me in my program, then, you know, I'll text them. I'll see, you know, if the communication's there and they're ready, then I'll make that phone call. I don't recruit nobody. I don't to come and offer them scholarship unless I've seen them play in person,
Mm-hmm.
or they come and see me in person, because you got to make sure that I'm something that you want also.
That's right. That's
You
right.
got to make sure the fit works both ways, because, you know, I might sound nice on the phone and, you know, through text messages, but when
I
I'm out
see
there on
you,
the court,
coach.
I'm a different beast, you know.
I
So
see you,
I don't
coach.
know if you're ready. I don't know if you're ready. So I like to bring kids on and make sure they understand all that. Let them sit behind the bench so they can see exactly how I am and interact with the players.
No, that's good stuff. They really need to see and make sure it gels. Some kids
Right.
can't handle it, you know,
Right.
and you don't want to get them on campus and they fold,
Right,
you
and
know.
that's okay.
Yeah,
I don't get mad, you know. I don't no hard feelings. If you
right,
feel like you're not meant to be, then hey, it's not meant to be. You know, it's no hard feelings. I've even helped kids, you know, go on to play somewhere else because they just didn't feel comfortable playing for me.
right.
So, you know, that's just, you know, it is what it is. Like I
I,
said, I'm
man,
not
every time
changing.
I go there, you know, I'm a coach watcher, you know,
Right,
because I used to coach. So most of the game, I
right,
just watch coaches, you know, more than I do the game just about.
right.
And I watch you coaching. I'm like, hey, I like her. You know,
Yeah,
I was known as that style as well, so
right.
I love it. Now, what kind of character traits do you look for in kids to see if that gel is there? Because, you know, some coaches will recruit a kid that no matter what they do, because
Right,
they can play basketball. You know what I mean?
right.
And just looking at you and your style, that's not gonna fly. So what do you look for specifically in a kid's traits?
Respect is big. I'm big on respect. You know, look me in the eye. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You know, when you can, or just yes. You know, not a yeah, or if you're texting a K, or, you know, stuff
Uh,
like that. That's just not
uh,
gonna fly with me.
and
So, you
look,
know,
hold on, before you move on. So you recruit these kids, and this communication in this day and age is absolutely horrible.
horrible.
So I promise you, I just had this conversation last night
Hmm.
that I said something borderline wrong with these kids today. They cannot talk.
Yeah.
Like they Oh man, don't get me started. We'll take the whole hour talking about how they just get on my nerve,
Right.
how they can't communicate even in a text.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned, they'll send back K. And I'm gonna say this real quick. I was talking to a guy last night. Literally, that's why I said I was talking last night. He put a kid on the phone with a college coach, and he said, Lamont, if you would have thought something was wrong with the kid, the way he was answering the questions, oh no, okay, and he said he was so embarrassed because that coach ain't want to deal with that on campus.
Right.
Go ahead, coach. I had to get that out because when you mentioned that just hit my button. Go ahead, coach.
Yeah, that's big for me. Obviously, respect is big, and then confidence. You have to have a confidence about yourself. When you walk into the gym, you got to know you belong. You got to carry yourself, and you got to know you put the work in to carry yourself. And then the last one, it's swag. You got to have some swag about you to play for me. You gotta believe in you. You gotta, not the cocky swag like I'm the best player on the court, but the swag like, I'm gonna work my butt off until I become the best player on the court, and I know how much work I put on to come out here and perform. So I like my players to have a little swag, a little chip on their shoulder, a little, you didn't, 4-year coaches, you didn't want me, so now let me show you what I can do.
Right.
So have that little swag. Don't look defeated just because you're playing at a junior college. People play here all the time and go on to the next level. So you gotta have that swagger and that confidence and that respect. If you got those three, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, coach said got that little swag. Can't come in here looking all lame with your pants down, bro. You playing with weight tech now. What's the problem?
Exactly.
Now, one thing that is another trend of today is overbearing parents in their involvement. How does that with you? And some coaches, it don't matter again, but how does that factor into you on whether you're really gonna bring that kid on campus?
It don't really play much of a factor with me. If you want me to be honest, I mean, I feel like parents are going to do that up until they're 18. And even some of them up until they're 30. My mom's like that with me. So I understand it.
You do understand that I'm not
right,
wrong yet.
Right. I understand that, but I do have a policy. I will not talk to a parent. I want to talk to the player, especially if we have an issue, or even if we don't have an issue. I don't want to hear from the parent first. I want to hear from you first. And then if you feel like it's okay and you want to talk to your parent, I'll talk to the parent. But I must talk with you first. We must have that open communication. If not, I will not speak to your parent. I don't have to, and I won't. And it's that simple. A part of coaching and teaching at this level is teaching kids to become independent and become grown. So if you want to grow up, now's the perfect time to do it. You can't call mom and daddy every time something goes wrong or it's not going your way. You got to grow up. So
no, that's good stuff. And again, like you said, it's part of growing up and being independent,
right.
And I don't know as much on your level as you deal with it, but those parents that are constantly criticizing the coach and being the neck, you do nobody any good. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're going to deal with that at any level. I feel like, when I'm out there coaching, I don't hear the noise. I'm focused on me and my team. I don't hear nothing saying in the background.
So you don't pay it no attention.
I don't pay it no attention. I have enough confidence in myself, to know that I know what I'm doing. And I've been taught the right way to do things. So, if you got something to say, then you keep it to yourself. Just please don't interrupt the game. As long as you don't interrupt the game, then I'm good.
Right. No, you know what? And I told you, I'll come watch you play, coach, and you be focused. You be in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's exciting. Like, it really is exciting game to go to. I enjoy it every time I go. In fact, this year, y'all had a great year. Like, it was a real good year. Was it like the first year of the Region 10 title?
Yeah,
right?
First year ever Wait Tech women's basketball has won Region 10. So, it was big for us.
Yeah, and you got a ticket to the big dance.
Yeah, got cut short, but it is what it is.
Short.
It was tough for the players and the coaches, honestly. It was tough for all of us not to be able to go, but now we just have more of a chip on our shoulder to do it again.
Right.
That's how you got to do. You got to you can't mope about something too long. You got to find ways to get better and do it all over again. So
Right. So what made this team so special?
this team was trying year for sure. I mean, I would be lying if I told you it was a great team. We had the best year of our lives. Like, no, that's not how it went down at all. And
Yeah.
that's something that a lot of people love about me is my honesty. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you. It was a very trying year. I got tested a lot as a head coach this year. At the beginning of the year, we didn't get along at all. I mean,
Right.
the continuity was just not there.
Right.
It just wasn't there. We just wasn't clicking on every cylinder. And I think a lot of that was we just weren't sacrificing, me for we. And we didn't have 2 feet in. We didn't buy into the process. And when I say we, I mean everybody. I'm not going to just, say the players. No, it's the coaching staff too. Like we're all one family. So it's going to always be we. And, as a coaching staff, we knew that we were good. We knew that we had the talent, but with talent comes issues.
Yes.
And especially when you have that much talent on one team. So we had a lot of talent, but it was one game this year where it just all clicked for us. And when it clicked, it clicked. And everybody started buying in, and everybody understood that, we could accomplish something bigger than ourselves. And once we accomplished that and we figured that out, I already knew what the outcome was going to be. I was just waiting for it to happen.
Right.
So it was a tough year, to say the least, but we got through it. And I look forward to seeing what we do next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is there one game this year that you just knew, man, we could have won that game? We was right there. What's the biggest game you just felt like I wasn't supposed to take that L?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like,
Right.
we could have won, but we didn't, which means we didn't get the job done no matter how many excuses you want to give.
Right.
But at Cape Fear is big in our conference. They've always been at the top. And it was a game of runs. Like they would go on a run and go up by 20 and we would bounce back. We would come back and then something would happen. Something would happen. We would come back within 2, we would come back within 3, and then something else would happen. And then they would go up by 10 and then something else would happen. So it was just like a game of runs, but it was competitive. It was high, and we ended up losing the game by 7, but that was a game we definitely could have had in the bag for sure.
Right. Right. And that's a big game for y'all, right?
Yeah, definitely a big game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got to make that one because I keep hearing about that Cape Fear game. Real good. I just found out a couple, recently that you were awarded. Congratulations, the
Thank you.
Women's Basketball Coaches Association 30 under 30. Wow. I mean, that's big time, Coach. I mean,
Yeah.
how'd you feel about that? That's big time.
I mean, it's a great honor. It's a lot of people that's got that honor in the past that I look up to, obviously, and then being in a league of all the players that were nominated this year, it meant a lot. I'm not gonna sit here and say it didn't, but being one of only 2 women NJCAA coaches on there and only one of 3 head coaches on there, I think that's a big honoree. And me being a woman, and teaching women the game, I just feel like that'll help me teach them and give them something that they can look forward to. Because no matter how hard it gets, you can always do something to better your life, better your career. So getting that honorary meant a lot, but it means nothing without the players. I wouldn't have won all them games without them. And it's more than just a trophy to me.
Right.
It goes to all of them. So
Right. Coach, you already ready for the next level. You got the political interviews down. Hey, this might as well be on ESPN. You saying all the right now. You prepared. You
I
are
hope so.
prepared.
Maybe one day.
Now tell us something, right? Tell us something off the wall that no one would guess that Coach Alison Beasley likes or does, or something just out the ordinary. Nobody really knows like that.
I like to sing and dance.
You what?
I like to sing and dance. Nobody probably would ever think that about me. But if I'm in the car, if I'm in the car, I'm singing, I'm jamming. Like nobody can break that. I'm dancing, I'm hitting the wall, like I'm doing it all. You
What
know,
you listen to, Coach? What you listen to?
I listen to everything. I listen to some rap, some R&B, some country. You know, I listen to it all. Oldies,
Right.
old
Some
school. I
Hootie and
love
the
old school
Blowfish.
music.
You like Hootie and the Blowfish?
Yeah, I like everything.
Do you? Boy, I would love to be a fly in that car.
I only do it in the car and on the
That
shower
you
though,
just
because
be
I don't want to
getting.
make a fool out of myself.
We're going to have to put you in the dance contest at the next Super 60. We're going to see what you're working with. Get you in the Soul Train line.
That might
Now,
make not top 10.
oh, my goodness. That's funny. Look, Coach, now, what's the plan? You plan on being, playing in the Alison Beasley Gymnasium one day at Wake Tech, or are we looking at one day moving on to the next level? What's the goal for you?
The goal is to always move on. You always want to move on and better your career. If I can go Division I, Division II, be an assistant, then become a head coach somewhere, build another program, that's something I would definitely love to do. But if it's in God's hands for me to stay here at Wake Tech, I'm happy here. I played here. I know the roots here. I know everything here. And if a gym's named after me and that's what the Lord wants, then I'm okay with that. So I'm okay with either one. Do I want to go to the next level? Yes. Every coach should. You should always want to better yourself and better your career. So yeah to that, but I would also be okay with staying here and living out a dream here.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, Coach, for the kids that are watching that really maybe never even really gave Wake Tech a thought, right? Why don't you tell them right now, what are some of the great benefits of coming to Wake Tech?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you're going to have a family atmosphere. You're going to have a very tight-knit group. We're going to care about you more than just basketball. It's not all about basketball and sports, We're going to actually care about you and everything you're going through. So it's definitely going to be a family atmosphere. And then education is a top priority for us, So if you come to Wake Tech, you're pretty much guaranteed to get accepted in any 4-year, especially in North Carolina. So, you just come here, you put in the work, and we're definitely going to do everything we can to get you where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful campus. I
It
mean,
is. We
it really.
we have 8 campuses total, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a
That
lot
new
of campuses.
gym, right? That new
Yeah.
gym is nice.
Yeah, we got 2 gyms. When I played and when I first played, we had no gyms. I had to, drive to the seminary and Wake Forest every day to play. And
Really?
practice. Yeah, we had no gym. So it came a long ways. I come from being in no gym to now having 2 gyms. So
Two nice
yeah,
gyms.
yeah,
Like
2
both of
nice
you.
gyms. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
That's real.
definitely.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
of them, have been known to be, very good. And so we've even had this past year, we had North Carolina Central come up and scrimmage for a game. So
Okay.
we definitely host a lot of good events there, and hopefully we can get you in there one day.
Yeah, we're
So
working on it. We're
so
working on
so
it.
so we can host a get me recruited event. But you
Right.
know, um, I love Wake Tech. I love everything that it stands for, and I just want to keep it moving and keep it going forward.
Good stuff. Now, before we let you go, what do you want the legacy of Coach Alison Beasley to be when you hang it up?
Probably a coach that did more than just care about the game of basketball. Probably a coach that really loved her kids and taught her kids more than just basketball. Taught them when they came in from being girls to becoming women. To me, that's like the best thing that you can do is teach a young lady coming in how to become a woman. And if I can get some type of credit for that, that to me, that's something that I would want to do. I want to be known for. I don't want to just be known for the X's and O's or basketball. I want to be known for more of the mental part and the mental side and actually caring for these girls and helping them get to where they want to be in life.
No, that's great, Coach. And I let me tell you, I respect what you do. See, I was one of those guys that I've always coached boys until maybe about 10 years ago.
Right.
And before I hung it up, I actually ended up coaching the women at Fort Bragg, the women's team.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is in the comments right now, Miss WNBA 2. She played for me. And I got a whole different perspective and respect for those young ladies and how they play. And eventually I went into evaluating ladies and so
Right.
forth. But on the flip side, there's a whole lot to deal with too now.
Right. Definitely. A lot of personalities. I can promise you that.
Strong
Girls,
personality.
they can't leave the drama alone, but it's
Oh
okay.
my goodness, man. It takes a special coach, and coach, you're doing it very well. I was highly impressed with what I saw. I was highly impressed at how y'all recruit. And you know, I think people should really consider it. And you're turning into, you know, a D2 powerhouse down there, and you know, where they're gonna be knocking on the door down there to try to get in weight tech. You know what I mean? And so you keep doing what you're doing. We invite you anytime, anything you need. You can give us a call, or if you got any questions about any kids, as always, let us know. But before I let you go, I don't know if you watch our show, Coach, but you know we can't let you go without giving you a little bit of Trivia Thursday. Thursday. Coach, you got to know the game. We're going to come at you, Coach. We're going to come. And I tried to make these, well, they decent now. We ain't giving you no easy questions where you can talk about you a genius. Now, we're going to get through these real quick. We ain't got but 7. Should be pretty easy.
Right.
In the comments, if y'all want to help her, y'all can help her. We'll see what Coach working with. Let's go with question number 1. Here we go. Who is the NCAA women's basketball all-time leading scorer? Is it A, Kelsey Plum, B, Tamika Catchings, C, Diana Taurasi, or D, Skylar Diggins? Which one is it? Oh, bro.
Well, I know Diana Taurasi is the WNBA.
Yeah.
Tamika Catchings is my favorite player all time. I don't think it's Kelsey Plum. I don't think it's Skylar Diggins.
You just eliminated everybody.
I'm gonna go with C, Diana Taurasi.
It is not C. It is.
Who is it?
It is Kelsey Plum.
Kelsey Plum.
At A. Okay, Coach. I told you I wanted to make these hard now. I wanted to make them hard because here we go. We going with number 2. I'm gonna have your assistant coaches rag on you. Let me see Q have rag on you a little bit. Here we go. Which college did reigning WNBA Ella Deladoni attend? Is it? Oh, I see you thinking already. A, Notre Dame, B, Delaware, C, UCLA, or D, Tennessee?
B, Delaware.
B, Delaware is the correct answer. She's on it. She's 1-1 here. All right, Coach. All right, Lee, y'all make sure y'all get on it. She don't get these right now. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. What we got? This former Baylor Lady Bear is the only player in NCAA history to score 2,000 points and 500 block shots. Is it A, Rebecca Lobo, B, Cheryl Miller, C, Cheryl Swoops, or D, Brittany Griner?
D, Brittany Griner.
D, Brittany Griner it is. D, I think that one's kind of easy. Yeah, I had to let you off the hook a little bit just in case you struggle. Here we go, Coach. All right. How many years did Pat Summitt coach at Tennessee?
I should know this one.
You should know this one. Why should you know this?
Because I've read just about all her books, and I just should know this one, but I don't know if I do. We'll see.
Now we about to. It's interesting now. A20, B27, C38, or D40. Let's see if Coach retained the information she reads.
I don't think it was quite 40. 20 seems too little. So it's only to be B or C.
It's either B or C, huh? This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
I just don't know if she completed quite 38 seasons. I'm gonna go with B.
B, and the answer is C.
C.
C. 38.
I should have known that one. I should have known that one.
Here we go. All right, Coach, we back evened up. We got 3 left. And that Wake Tech staff is just sitting there laughing. Here we go. This former USC Trojan was the first woman to dunk in a game. Was it A, Cynthia Cooper, B, Tina Thompson, C, Lisa Leslie, or D, Nikki McCrimmon? Oh, y'all help out in the comments.
C, Lisa Leslie.
Was it Lisa Leslie? Is that your answer? Final answer?
Yeah.
Correct. C, Lisa Leslie. It was Lisa Leslie. Yes, it was. Okay, Coach. Okay. Who we got next? From 2013 to 2016, how many national titles in a row did UConn win? Was it A2, B4, C3, D, just one? Which one was it between 13 and 16?
All four.
All four it is, B. Oh, Coach, you're up now. You can't lose unless you get this one wrong. In the 2019 NCAA Women's Championship game, Baylor defeated by one Tennessee, South Carolina, Notre Dame, or UConn.
This is a 2019?
2019.
UConn.
And the answer is Notre Dame.
Oh.
Notre Dame.
Yes, it is Notre Dame because the Boomerale hit the shot.
Wow, my girl, Alison. I love it. I enjoyed it tonight because they get to see more than what you just are on the sidelines. They look at you on the sidelines, they might not understand that you got a personality that's cool
right.
too. Right?
Yeah. I can be a little crazy on the court. But it's all in passion and love for the game, and I gotta be competitive.
I was the Black Bobby Knight. I get it. So I get it. You know, but no, seriously, I really appreciate you coming. You got a great personality.